Now, the middle school is putting on this fantastic play, but the high school said, watch that and then come see us. And now we will have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the high school putting on the performance of Chicago. Okay. So put on your dancing shoes, come listen to some great music, and see wonderful performances. Okay. And, okay. They just finished a rehearsal, I was told. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce our athletic director, Ms. Kim Rizzo, to help honor some of and recognize some of the great achievements of our students this past school year. Ms. Rizzo?
Good evening. Thank you.
And you're not on.
Not.
Use that one.
Was it okay? Good? Can you hear? Okay. Perfect. Okay. So tonight we would like to honor our all-county athletes from the fall. An all-county athlete is recognized as one of the top players in their particular sport within Nassau County. This is selected by the coaches and the Sports Association for their outstanding athletic performance and achievements throughout the season. This prestigious honor highlights their exceptional skills, dedication, and impact on the field or court, distinguishing them as a leader in their sport at the county level. So tonight for football, we would like to recognize Derek Brown. Come on up. Devin Gonzalez. Oops, sorry. Jaden Johnson and Taha Wally, who are not with us. For girls soccer, Paulina Fonfara and Juliana Portaro. For boys soccer, unfortunately, Henry Hernandez is not with us because he's in Italy trying out for a showcase team. So Henry Hernandez and Jordan Flores. Winter All-County athletes. For boys basketball, Mark Reeves, who unfortunately is at the All-County dinner tonight being recognized by the county, so he's not here with us. Juliana Portaro, who is already up here, received All-County for winter track. Rifle, Grace Guillen. Wrestling, Giorgio Valenzuela. And Alexa Benitez. And for cheer, Oliver Pinder and Maylene Chavez. White shirt.
They're obviously not in order. Sorry, go ahead.
Paulina?
Is she there? Look here, right here. No?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Does everybody have one?
Yes.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our scholars, our athletes are recognized, wonderful, multi-talented group of individuals. Thank you for all you do to represent your school in such a positive manner.
You should come stand next to your sister. Yeah, go ahead. No, go. Go. Come on. You should have given her the certificate. Why didn't you tell me it was? Go stand next to them. Hold on.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, give them another hand. And I know that these young people have become as good in their sport as they have been recognized for because of natural, not only natural talent, but that of their coaches. So can the coaches please stand up? Thank you.
So in addition to our all-county athletes, we recently just had 2 all-state athletes for this past winter season. An all-state athlete is an individual recognized as one of the top performers in their sports within a specific state. This prestigious designation is typically awarded based on the exceptional performance throughout the season, with athletes often selected to represent their state in a competitive event or as part of an all-state team. Being named an all-state athlete signifies a high level of skill, dedication, and achievement in their sport at the state level. For wrestling, all-state wrestler Giorgio earned all-state honors after becoming the 4th county champion in Glen Cove's history. He was also named All-County in his junior year and concluded his career with an impressive 94 career wins. His remarkable work ethic and leadership have significantly elevated the wrestling program here in Glen Cove, leaving a lasting impact, a positive impact. Giorgio has firmly established himself as one of the best wrestlers in Glen Cove's history. Congratulations, Giorgio. In addition, we had an all-state runner, Juliana Portaro. Juliana has been a standout varsity track athlete for 2 years, competing at a high level as an 8th grader. She has earned numerous accolades, including All-County and All-State honors as a key member of the Section 8 relay team. Additionally, she boasts a top three time in the country for her age group in the 600 meter. The future looks incredibly bright for both Juliana and the Glen Cove Track and Field program. Congratulations, Juliana. In addition to their success, just having conversations with Mr. and Mrs. Valenzuela and Mr. and Mrs. Portaro, as parents, kudos to you guys for your hard work and your dedication, for continually being there for your kids, driving them, early mornings, late practices. If you have a child that's an athlete, we all know how that goes. So you guys should give your parents a huge round of applause. Okay.
I just want to say, although they've been recognized for their athletic ability, I have participated, I've attended so many of the different state as well as local events, and I've also been privy to what other schools say about us. Not only do they represent Glen Cove as far as their athletic skills, and many of them based on their academic success, but I have other superintendents in other districts telling me how well-mannered, how professional, how truly amazing our students have been, both at local events and at state and national events. And that is a lot to be proud of. So thank you for all you do for representing our district, not just for your athletic ability, but as the culture of this district. You have really shined and helped us to become a district that's so well respected for the kindness, the respect, and the integrity of our teams. And thank you for the parents and the coaches, the teachers that have helped make that happen. Thank you. And now I see her smiling, her favorite time of the evening. Our new Assistant Superintendent for Business will present the next presentation of the development of our 2025-26 proposed budget. Teresa?
Thank you, Dr. Rihanna. Good evening. Tonight in Budget Workshop number 4, we are going to review the 25-26 tax levy limit calculation and the proposed tax levy. Every year, by law, a school district needs to report their tax levy limit to the Office of the New York State Comptroller. This must be submitted by March 1st. This is the formula that is used to find the allowable tax levy limit. The formula includes items such as the tax base growth factor, pilots, and allowable exclusions. As you can see, the allowable tax levy limit for the 25-26 school year is just over $80 million, which equates to a 3.498%. This represents the maximum amount that the school district is allowed to levy in taxes. After some discussion with the Board of Education and Administration, it was decided to reduce the tax levy by $400,000. This reduction brings the proposed tax levy increase to $79,642,176. With the reduction of $400,000 to the maximum allowable tax levy limit, Glen Cove will be proposing a tax levy increase of 2.981%. This is the amount that was reported to the Office of the New York State Comptroller. For comparison purposes, this slide shows the amount of the tax levy for the Glen Cove City School District since the 17-18 school year, and the proposed increase for the 25-26 school year. The proposed tax levy increase is an increase of about $2.3 million. Similar to the previous slide, this slide shows the tax levy percentage since the 17-18 school year, and the proposed levy for the 25-26 school year. Now, I'm part of an organization of the Northwest Quadrant, which is comprised of about 15 different school districts in our area. At our last meeting, we discussed the status of each district's tax levy limit. About half of those districts are reporting tax levy increases of 2.9% or higher, with a few that are over 3%. Now I'd like to review where we are with the 25-26 budget. As of today, we do not have a balanced budget. The current gap is about $1.5 million. This means that our expenses are currently higher than our revenues. As I mentioned in previous budget workshops, there are some areas where we are experiencing large increases, like health insurance, contractual obligations, and special education services. These items are part of what is driving the increase in the expenditure budget. The revenue budget includes the use of our workers' compensation reserve, tax cert reserve, and unemployment reserve. These reserves are typically used each year to offset those expenses. In the next few weeks, we'll review the budget to determine how to eliminate this gap. Central administration is working with the schools to review their staffing needs, and we will look at the possibility of using additional reserves. We are also waiting to receive the governor's adopted budget, which will give us the final state aid figures. Budget workshop number 5 will be presented on April 9th. I will review the breakdown of the projects using the $1 million capital outlay, which is in the proposed budget, and I will review the expenditure budget for 25-26. And that is it for this budget presentation. Thank you for your time, and I answer any questions that you may have.
I have a question. What is the tax, if you know, like specifically or not, the tax-based growth factor? What does that mean? Because it was like a 1.00 all the way, like, do you know what that even refers to? Is it just like whether
That's
we?
calculated by the county.
Right, that's,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That number is given to us. We have no part of that calculation.
Oh, okay.
And it's based on the growth within the area.
I see.
How they come. We have been that 1.0025. I believe the last 3 or 4 years, it has not changed.
Curious. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
So although we expect although it's expected that the governor's budget would be given on or about April 1st, I really haven't seen that ever happen in my years.
Neither have I.
So we look forward to getting that information as quickly as possible.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. And that is the superintendent's report. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Maria and Teresa, for that presentation. Okay, so now we're on to the student board member report.
Good evening, everybody. Everybody at home. Buenas noches a todos. Spanish is back. Sadly, I don't have my speech in Spanish today, but now that I look back at it, I should have. But I'm very excited to let you guys know about all the exciting things that are happening so far in our school. Well, as y'all know, we were just talking about college decisions. College commit day is coming up in about a month and a half. And just letting you all know, every senior in this building is very excited to go on to this new chapter of their lives, but it's very nerve-wracking. And if you have seen the GC Commits page on Instagram, which I run, by the way, about 25 to 30 students have already committed to college, so this is really cool. Seniors are all excited to finish this year strong and participate in the fun senior festivities at the end of the year. Junior prom was also this past Saturday, and everyone enjoyed a night of dancing and hanging with their friends. Another exciting thing is that spring sports are back. I know Ms. Rizzo loves that, to hear that. And everyone in this building is gearing up for their respective sports seasons. We are also very excited to welcome one more new sport, flag football, which everyone is excited about. This sport has gotten so much popularity since they've announced it being implemented. I think over 50 girls are trying out for it, so that's really amazing. I know Coach Rubin is very excited to start working with the girls on the field and start winning games. That's true. I would also like to mention our district's first ever diversity night held here at the high school. It was such a great honor to be able to volunteer during this event, and seeing all the cool artifacts from each culture was very intriguing. I'm also very excited to mention that the Massacre Spring Musical, as Dr. Rihanna mentioned, is next week, and at Diversity Night we were able to see a sneak peek of it. And just to let you all know, it was really good, and you all need to buy tickets because it's going to be amazing. Tickets can be found online or on QR codes throughout the building. Another very exciting thing that I just can't wait for, can't hold in my excitement, is AP exams.
I'm not sure you'll get clear agreement on that, but okay.
And I know every AP student in this building is very excited to start studying for the test. I mean, I know I am. Wink, wink. But once we get those 3s, 4s, and 5s, it'll all be worth it at the end. Glen Cove High School is also very excited to be hosting the NYSSMA auditions on April 2nd and 3rd. And the Wind Ensemble are working hard for the competition repertoire because in about 1 month we are going to compete at Music in the Parks in New Jersey and enjoy a fun day at Six Flags, which I am also very excited about. And also in about a month and a half, the spring concerts will be performing. The Wind Ensemble, the Select Chorale, 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 orchestras, and also the jazz band. Shout out to jazz band. But overall, spring is a very exciting season, and the spirit of every student is high, and we can't wait to see what the rest of the school year brings. I want to say thank you again for allowing me to be here tonight and the chance to speak with you all. It was great to see you all again, and thank you.
Well done.
Thanks very much, Elias. Okay, so now we're on to public participation on agenda items. If you can come up and sign in with Ida. Give your name and address when you are at the podium, please.
Janet Blatt, Brady Street, Glen Cove. I have a question about the contract that you're entering into with BOCES, a 4-year contract for services. What services? All that, it's going to cost us $252,000 plus. So I'd really like to know what we're paying for. And the other thing I'd like to know, and this goes back to 3 or 4 meetings ago, did this district have to fill out, I don't know whether I've been told by various people, it was a questionnaire, it was a survey, whatever, when you decided in terms of regionalization. So did we, as a district, fill out that form, whatever it was? And those are the 2 questions I have.
Okay, thank you. Maria, want to take those, please?
I'm sorry?
Can you respond to those questions?
Sure.
Thank you.
I don't have my glasses with me, so the BOCES contract, could you?
two? The total amount of 252 is spread over 4 years? Okay, thank you.
And as far as regionalization is concerned, we got a deadline and a directive to fill out that survey, and we did as we were asked to do. We did not opt out of regionalization, and so we are one of a number of districts that are coming together to see what kind of resources we can pool and share so that we can more effectively move forward in our district and provide additional opportunities to our students.
Can I ask another question? It seemed to me from what I had read and what I've heard in discussions with people upstate, that if you had two choices, opt out or opt in. You said back at the board meeting, several board meetings ago, that you did neither. At least I think that's what you said. But if you had to fill out the form, I was told that was only for districts that opted in. So what position are we really in? And have you all signed us up for a 10-year thing? Because that's what I seem to be reading, that other districts were saying, we're not signing up for that. And other districts are suing. I don't know where those lawsuits are at this point. Where are we? It seemed to me that we can't be in the middle. We're either in or we're out. And I was told that if you filled out the form, you were in. So does that mean that, or am I being told wrong information, or do you not understand that you signed us up for 10 years worth of whatever this nonsense is?
So I think the sequence of events may be where some people are confused or providing information that may not be accurate. All districts were told to complete this survey by a certain period of time.
All districts?
All districts in the state of New York,
Okay.
okay? While that process was unfolding and the timeline was moving forward, some districts decided they were not going to quickly meet that deadline or begin to put information in but not complete it, okay? By, I think it was December, we were given information that whether we put our information into this survey or not, that we would need to determine by board vote if we wanted to opt out of the regionalization project. And we did not vote to opt out, and so we are still included. But we have given assurance, written assurance, that it is not mandating that we consent to any of the particular projects that come up during this period of time, that we could not participate in any of the opportunities that perhaps are collected. So those who are still a part of the regionalization, in other words, did not opt out, are meeting with their district superintendent, not me, but the Nassau or Suffolk superintendent, or Western Suffolk superintendent, or
BOCES superintendent.
whatever BOCES your district is in, to come together and look at particular areas of concern at this point in time, and this will be an ongoing, a series of ongoing meetings where We would then share opportunities and look and see if we could address common interests or common concerns. And then we would determine whether, if there's 10 people sitting at the table, 10 different districts, perhaps only 2 or 3 or maybe 8 will participate, but it is up to the individual district as to whether or not on that particular item we would participate or not. So it will always come back to the district, and I've already attended the first meeting, and so we're looking at shared services, transportation, for example, and whether or not that's a possibility. We are all experiencing concerns with special education placements or not having placements for certain types of students due to the number that spaces aren't available or programs are full. And how could we help create appropriate placements for other students based on those needs? So these are just some of the things that we're talking about. And whether or not we all participate is really up to the individual district.
There's no one vote, and you have to go along with the majority within the, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to the instructional report. Dr. Boschner.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 7 on the instructional report, A, Committee on Special Education, and B, Committee on Preschool Special Education.
Can I get a motion? Leah and Maureen. All in favor? 6. Okay, business affairs.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 8A, Finance, numbers 1 and 2.
Motion, Angela and Ann. Any discussion or questions on these? All in favor? 6.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Items 8B, Operation, numbers 1 through 3.
Motion. Maureen and Leah. Any questions? All in favor? 6.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 8B, Operations, number 4.
Motion, Megan, and any discussion? All in favor? Okay, so we have
I'm abstaining from this.
5 and 1 abstention. Okay, moving on.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 8B, Operations, numbers 5 through 11.
Okay, motion, Ann and Megan. Any discussion on these? All in favor? That's 6. Okay, so I just want to acknowledge we got a donation of school supplies from the widower of Marilyn Delgado, who was a former TA at Daisy School, so we thank you very much for those supplies. All right, personnel.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9A certified, numbers 1 through 9.
Motion, Leah and Maureen. All in favor? 6.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9A certified, numbers 10 through 14 as amended.
Angela and Megan, any questions on those? All in favor? 6.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9B classified, numbers 1 through 6.
Motion, Leah and Maureen, questions? All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. Is that it?
If I may, I just want to note that this evening, one of the resolutions included notice of tenure and conferring number of teachers in earning their tenure, which is a huge accomplishment. And just want to remind everyone, because we also have a retirement on one of tonight's resolutions as well. On June 4th, we will be recognizing all employees who have earned tenure and who have submitted retirement this school year. We're going to be having our recognition ceremony to recognize both, which are both big achievements. So just as a reminder.
And there'll be cake.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so. Unfinished business, I don't believe we have any new business. Any board members like to share or make comments? Leah, please.
Yeah, I went to that diversity evening and I had the best time. The kids really knew their topics. The artifacts that they had were super interesting. I went to each room. You were there, you were wonderful, and all of the students that participated, so thank you to Sue Poulos and all the other staff involved. I was really impressed. I had a great time listening to you guys and the videos and the music and the dancing. It was really wonderful, so thank you.
Get called on. Just that I'm looking forward to seeing Adam's Family in Chicago in the next couple weeks. But I wanted to add that, so there's like I think it's more or less district-wide little project happening of the little libraries. And it's just an adorable, wonderful project. They're at, they popped up at Daisy Landing. I think Connolly's getting one shortly, in Morgan Park and elsewhere. And it's just a really wonderful, great project. I see the kids like walking by, looking in, putting things in, taking out. It's really great. I love the addition to all the school grounds. And then also sort of on like, I guess on like a more of a business, like Teresa bringing up the budget gap that exists, about $1.5 million right now. It's just something to, I guess, I don't know if remind is the right word, but take note that last year we lost a pilot and for a development project, and that pilot previously provided the district about $1.2 million. So that is, every year. Oh, and it would have increased each year. So that is something that, you know, there are increased prices, obviously, in insurance and things that are in everything, and things that are somewhat uncontrollable in that way. But this is something that, as like we know, we're aware of. It's not the first year, I guess last year was. And so we're taking that all into account, but it's just something that everyone should be aware of, is a huge chunk of that $1.5 million.
Good point.
Yeah, very good point, Megan. Anybody else? Okay. So now we'll move on to our last public participation.
More on the same topic. Sorry about that.
Just pick up the mic.
I'm tired.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Janet Blatt, McGrady Street, Glen Cove. What other districts are in the same grouping with the BOCES superintendent for that region?
I'm sorry, did you just ask what are the districts that
What
are
are the
involved?
districts that you said you attended the first meeting, or one meeting recently? I wanted to know what other the districts are in the same grouping that Glen Cove is in. I also want to know, and I'm sure the state says no, but trusting the governor or the commissioner of education for New York State, no matter who that person is not something I do at all. Can the state change from not mandating to mandating? And if they do, mandating in participation in whatever they decide, the people who are participating in these meetings, no matter what they think they're doing, can, within the time frame that has been set, can they change from saying, well, we haven't been mandating, but now we're going to mandate that you participate in this? And how, if they are saying, no, that won't change, how recently did they say that? And that's it.
Okay, I know that there are 11 districts in total in Nassau-Boces that met the other day. I can't name all 11 of them off the top of my head, but some of the districts are Oceanside. I'm trying to think of who I was sitting next to, and it's just not coming to me. But
Anybody closer to us than Oceanside?
no, actually, many of the districts are on the South Shore that were present. We were one of the few that are on the North Shore.
Because everybody else on the North Shore has opted
Just wait
out?
one second, just wait one sec, okay? But I don't believe all 11 districts were there. I'm trying to visualize across, around the table, but I'm almost 100% sure that not 100% of the districts were there. And again, depending on the issues you're talking about, we may or may not be a district that wants to or could be involved in some of the projects that they bring up. In regard to whether or not a mandate changes, as soon as the mandate changes, you have the opportunity, because you've agreed under a certain mandate, if the mandate changes, you would have the option of opting out. So everything is considered as time goes on, as to whether or not you want to continue as a part of that group or not. There is nothing that, from what I've read and what I've been a part of, that just, commits you for 10 years without the opportunity to say, no, I'm not interested in whatever opportunities, have been created out of this group.
You mentioned transportation. Would that be that the BOCES superintendent and his or her staff would be negotiating a possible contract, and districts would have an opportunity to say yes or no to that? Who is going to be coming up with the financial part of that kind of, I'll use your word, opportunity? I'm not sure that I agree that these are great opportunities.
Nobody mentioned you're not going to be given the opportunity to continue with your own transportation needs, or if there is a way to better route the, and we do that now. We look at our routing each year, where our students attend school, because not all of them attend, the public schools in Glen Cove, and we try to maximize the efficiency of those routes so that it minimizes the cost while still providing the transportation that is needed. So, at this point in time, it's not like BOCES is going to take over transportation or negotiate for us. They have a transportation opportunity that we could be part of. We sometimes use, depending on what the situation is. So can we, the ideas that come together are, can we maximize, or, the efficiencies of our transportation to keep all costs down and still have students transported to their programs accordingly. So the conversation is multifaceted, so I can't just tell you one part of it without understanding that it's not just that one part. It's different facets of transportation under different situations, and it's an ongoing conversation. So we may talk about transportation at this last meeting last week, but we might bring up transportation again in a couple of months as we look at summer or we look at the new school year. So again, we are looking at how Glen Cove does it, how Oceanside does it, how, you know, a number of other districts do it, and where are you having your problems? We all have, actually, statewide, but Long Island is having a shortage of drivers, and monitors on buses that are mandated. So we're really looking at, you know, how can we continue to provide efficient, effective transportation, safe transportation for our students, and minimize the cost. We can go to our provider, for example, and they can say, well, we don't have any buses left because we don't have any drivers. So there's really been a very difficult situation on Long Island in the state of New York in regard to our service community, our buses, our drivers, our teacher assistants, our monitors, in some parts of the state, teachers themselves. So this is really an attempt to help districts be more efficient and offer as many opportunities as they can to their students.
Can I ask one more thing? Aren't other districts who are not involved in this kind of thing, and weren't we involved in these kinds of discussions before and working out arrangements where they could be worked out with other districts before this regionalization
Yes, we
thing?
were. So the thing about, that you'll notice about the people who opted out and were very reactive to it is these are largely districts that are plentiful in resources, whereas districts more like Glen Cove, where that, you know, are less resource wealthy, we are more inclined to try to collaborate and share and, you know, try to work with other districts to, you know,
My point is,
extend-
why do we need BOCES, the BOCES superintendent
Yeah,
of this area, to
okay.
be doing that when we were doing it anyway to try to maximize the use of the money that we had?
Well, I think it's really complicated, and I don't know. I also think it was poorly rolled out, but at any rate, I think that we made the choice that was appropriate for Glen Cove. And, you know, I mean, in terms of BOCES is an incredible resource for us. I mean, that we are able to offer our students all kinds of technical and
I know
culinary.
about all that.
Right,
It's,
but I
you
mean,
know,
so it's, I don't see it as, I don't see it as this, as problematic, you know? I mean, I think it's, you know, it's smart to share resources.
I
and-
think that some of the things that they offer are beneficial to a significant number of kids and not beneficial at all to some others. But that's a totally different discussion than the one I've been engaging in tonight, and where my thinking has been going ever since this regionalization stuff came up. So I saw it on the agenda. I thought I would ask some more. If there's other things that come up, I will ask again. I am certainly not a fan of regionalization. And you obviously are. And you have
Well-
power and I have none. So
okay.
what I think doesn't really matter at all. I understand that, but I still have a
Nobody
right
said
to
any of that,
understand
Janet.
to
Those
the
are your
best that I
words.
can what it is
Okay,
that you all are doing
right.
with our money, and what may happen, although you
We're
probably
trying to-
don't see
we're
it
really-
happening as this
Okay.
regionalization stuff moves
Right.
along.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, I hope you've heard my points about why we have done what we've done, and that we're trying to make our money, extend our money by sharing resources. So I appreciate your questions, and thanks very much. Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Leah and Angela? Huh? All in favor? Okay, that's 6. All right, thanks very much. Have a good spring.
Elias, it was great having you here. Thank you for coming.
You're coming back, Elias? Good.
All right, not terrible.